Welcome everyone to today's live stream, episode 28 of our Starfield gameplay series. I'm Commander Jorval, and I want to thank you for coming along on our journey today. So on admin notes, there's not a whole lot that happened this week in Starfield news. So our first admin note has to do with me. While I was on vacation, I went somewhere and the temperatures were really cold. So I have developed an upper respiratory infection, which is causing me to cough quite a bit. So thought these days were over. They are here where I live, but evidently not in other places across the country where I went to see my family. So I do have an infection, and I'm going to try my best to mute the microphone when I cough. I'm going to try and remember to unmute it, but if you don't hear me say anything for an extended period of time and I either forgot to unmute the mic or I didn't actually click the button when I thought I did, please drop a comment and let me know so that I'm not just talking to nobody and y'all aren't hearing anything. But I'll do my best to make sure that you don't have to hear me hacking up along over here. So I think that's it. Oh no, one more admin note. We are back after my vacation to our regular streaming schedule. Daylight savings time has taken effect here in the United States. So we are now Central Daylight Time, which right now is GMT -5. I've updated the About tab on the channel to reflect the times for my international viewers. Sorry, I had a cough there. For my international viewers, so that you're not missing an hour of the streams. But the streams will be back up. Live streams going on this weekend for the Bard and the Paladin, as per usual, so feel free to drop in for those as well. The last admin note is about this live stream. We are quickly coming up to the end of our Starfield live stream, so tomorrow I'm going to be putting up a community post asking a poll about what video or what games y'all would like to see me play for another live stream, and I'll have some suggestions. But I'm also very interested in getting the community's input on what they would be interested to see as well. So I will take everybody's input. It will still end up being my decision, but I would love to hear what the community thinks, and I can take a look at those options and see if it's something that interests me that I would like to play as well. So watch for that on the community tab, and feel free to offer up your comments. And we'll see what we can do for the live stream to replace this one. So I think that's it. So on our recap, at the end of last week's episode, we had finished up all of the side quests. Well, most of the side quests on Cydonia. There was one that was bugged and one that we couldn't finish because it required 5 of a specific type of weapon that we weren't going to spend time trying to farm. But we finished up the side quests on Cydonia. And we jumped back into the main quest line, and we talked to the hunter and the emissary and learned who they are. They are actually Sarah and the leader of the church here in New Jemison, but not those exact people. They are versions of them from a different universe that have made their way here into ours. And that answers some big questions about the Unity and what it does and that sort of stuff. And we're going to continue following up on that on the main quest line, and we're going to jump back in here. And just take stock really quickly of exactly where we are in the main quest line process. Okay, so here we are. We have both the Final Glimpses and the Unearthed Quest that are both active here. We are going to I think it's probably better, actually, if we do the Unearthed Quest first. I think that one has more of a finality to it. So I think we'll go ahead and switch this to Unearthed. I know we were going to do Final Glimpses, but let's go do Unearthed first. And that should lead us to the Nova Galactic research station. So we're not actually going to the Star Yard. We are going here to the research station. Almost misclicked that.
Site is clear. Descent started.
If I remember correctly, there are two objectives here. On the surface. There's an optional objective as part of the main objective. So let's head over here real quick. And with the low gravity here on the moon, we'll be able to fly, basically. Okay, so here we are. I don't believe that there's anything hostile out here. You can make your way around to the airlock door, which is over here. And again, there are going to be various things that you can loot around out here. We're just not very interested in doing much of that anymore. So we're going to unlock this with the Moonbase key that we received after following in their footsteps quest. In the first place this is going to lead you is to this terminal here. Okay, so this tells you about a proprietary supercomputer being used in Project Prism. And Project Prism launch here is what you want to read. So they're talking about the first test launch of Project Prism. And that's now going to update it to play the recording on the roof. But before we do that, we can take a look around here. So there's a restricted equipment key here that you'll want to pick up. And then we're going to go to our scanner, and you have these Moonbase slates that are around here. And this is number 2.
Nova Galactic Project Log, Principal Engineer Lang Shu. I admit, this is not the most disciplined team I've ever run. Malcolm keeps stealing computational time on Voltaire and thinks I don't know this. And Sabina's been distracted lately, but won't tell anyone why. I really should demand answers from both of them. But honestly, I'm too preoccupied with this contract. We all are. Despite anything going on in our personal lives. There's something special about what we're building here.
Okay, so you're learning a little bit more, and here's the optional objective to collect all the slates. Now, what we're going to do is pick these up as we find them, but that's not necessarily going to be in order. So what I'll probably do is pick them up and then stop the recording, and we'll listen to them all at once afterwards. Okay, and they are going to highlight as you get close to them. And I believe it's in here. Yes, here's 4.
Okay.
Okay, and then we have some lockers. There's a digipick there. Can't remember if it's in these. It's always easier to find these things with your scanner equipped. Okay, here's Moonbase Slate 3.
Voltaire.
And now I believe all we're missing is 1. And I think that right here.
Nova.
Okay, no, that's not right. There's another one. I think this one's here. No, it might be upstairs. I believe it's next to where the crate is. Yeah, I think it's over here. So here's your end of mission crate, and this is what you need the restricted equipment key for. So lead-lined Deep Seeker balance pack, not really any good for what we need. We'll take the digipick though. We don't need any more of the crafting supplies at this point. Okay, so nothing really there. And here's number 6. Okay, so that completes that. So now we can go to our notes and we can quickly listen to these.
Nova Galactic Project Log, Principal Engineer Lang Shu. Voltaire is being reconfigured for this new initiative. The math we're being asked to crunch is ambitious, even for a supercomputer. We might as well be asking it to count every grain of sand in every desert on Earth. Who came up with these original equations? Our partner isn't being very open about it. Every question I have goes through some discretionary channel. I'm surprised we even know we're working on a ship. Nova Galactic Project Log, Principal Engineer Lang Shu. I admit, this is not the most disciplined team I've ever run. Malcolm keeps stealing computational time on Voltaire and thinks I don't know this. And Sabina's been distracted lately, but won't tell anyone why. I really should demand answers from both of them. But honestly, I'm too preoccupied with this contract. We all are. Despite anything going on in our personal lives, there's something special about what we're building here.
Voltaire really is something else. A supercomputer so powerful they put it on the damn moon to keep it cool. Although by that logic they should be running it purely in the vacuum of space. But hey, good marketing material. I've been spending some off hours running some dumb simulations, just because I can. My favorite so far is simulating the sound of every duck on Earth quacking after receiving a piece of bread. You didn't know you wanted a real-time sim of feeding all the ducks, but now you have it. You're welcome, humanity. Okay, confession time. Being single on a moon base is the worst. I only get like an hour to use the communication link to Earth every couple of days. And let me tell you, there's long-distance dating, and then there's like long-distance dating, you know? Oh, hey there, I'm a scientist, deadly employed, willing to take you out for coffee in like 6 months when I'm back from space. It's not a great opening line.
You seriously can't get a date? You're an astronaut.
Hey, no one asked you. You ever get jealous? You know, the crew in the shipyard? Building the actual vessels that are gonna travel the stars?
We're literally on a base on the moon.
Oh, come on, Sabina. I'm trying to share my dreams here.
Well, your dreams are always out there and never here where the rest of us live. Can't you just be happy doing your job?
Where's the fun in that?
When I accepted the assignment up here, we were told to bring a couple of personal items. Some psychological study said it helped when you're away from Earth this long. I brought my grandmother's old abacus. I would play with it on her lap, and she'd teach me the Russian for all the numbers. She, just got word that she passed. The next shuttle isn't for 3 months, so I won't be able to go to the funeral. Goodbye, Babushka. Thank you for teaching me math. It brought me to the moon.
Okay, so we've learned some of the personal backstories behind the astronauts here, and this was a while ago in the history of what's been happening here. So this is not recent history that you're seeing. We're kind of resurrecting things from the past here. So I believe we can head back outside. We can play the recording here.
Engine spin-up time almost complete. Total time 5 minutes 22 seconds. Right on schedule.
How are the helium-3 valves holding, Nova?
We double-checked the leakage concerns this morning before the launch. All signs green.
Any changes to the calculation sequence from Voltaire?
No changes since we uploaded the last figures yesterday. It's a clean shot from here to Jupiter.
One day the computer will be on board the spaceship. Just imagine that.
One miracle of science at a time, Canaveral. Counting down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Canaveral, are you reading?
All clear, Nova. Indicators look good. The ship should be cruising Jupiter's orbit right now. Visual confirmation will be possible in 32 minutes. Afraid the speed of light is on the slow side these days.
How does it feel to break the laws of physics, Canaveral?
We're all pretty excited down here in NASA, I won't lie.
Excited enough to tell me where you got the original data?
Not in a million years, Nova.
Okay, so now you can see what actually happened. They were doing calculations for the first faster-than-light travel jump, and they made that jump from Earth to Jupiter. And they had the supercomputer here on the moon doing those calculations for them. They mentioned they put it here because they can keep it cool on the moon, and that is true, and also not true. The moon, temperatures on the moon, because there's no atmosphere, the temperatures depend entirely upon whether you are in sunlight or not. Surface temperatures on the moon jump in sunlight when there's no atmosphere to block the radiation. Those temperatures are about 125 degrees C, or about 225 degrees Fahrenheit. And then at night, it's the exact opposite. When there's no radiation hitting you, all of the heat is being sucked out of you into the surrounding space. No atmosphere to keep that heat in, so it's the exact opposite. It's minus 125 degrees Celsius or minus 225 degrees Fahrenheit. But as long as you are keeping something in the shade, as far as your heat exchangers go, then yes, you can certainly keep things much colder on the moon than you can somewhere else. Hey Pete, welcome to the stream. We're going to, I mentioned it in the talking points before, or in the admin notes, sorry. We're going to put that post up tomorrow. So you will all have a poll up tomorrow on the community tab where you can give your input on what you would like to see me play out of the choices that I'm going to make. Also, you'll have the opportunity to give your own input and offer up any additional games that you would like to see me play that are not on that list. And then I'll go check them out and see if it's something that I'm interested in, and then we'll kind of make a plan for it once this live stream ends. So, pay attention to the community tab and give me your opinion. So here we now need to head to NASA. NASA is here on Earth. The launch tower is at Cape Canaveral in Florida. This is what used to be Florida, obviously, with the Earth being a barren wasteland now. And here you can see that there's actually a ship on the pad here at this launch tower. And there's nothing else around it. That's my ship. Sorry for a cough. That's my ship back there. Ooh, sorry, I'm coughing. If you see little pauses in the gameplay there and I go silent, like I say, I apologize. In the admin notes, I mentioned it. I'm going to be trying to cough up a lung here quite a bit. So down here, there's a couple of things we can do here. First, it wants us to get up there to find a way inside. However, we do have a door here. Secured access. There's a switch here and it says power is required. And there's a power receptacle here for a power cell. Now you can bring a power cell with you here and add it into this. Or you can parkour up a little bit. And look around until you find one. So we'll search each one of the levels here as we go up. Toilet paper tube. Toilet paper, always useful. Okay, a wire spool, more wire spools down there. And then we have a little area here. Digipix's fine. Oh, wow. Okay. And then we have some crafting supplies. So we'll take a look at that, actually, real quick. We have... What is our pistol right now? It's the Advanced Mag Shot. We have an Elemental Advanced Old Earth Pistol. So our Mag Shot has anti-personnel, staggering, and elemental. The Old Earth Pistol has disassembler, meh, poison, damage over time, and then another elemental, damage over time as well. Much higher fire rate, so you can do a lot more DPS with it. It also has a bigger mag size, compared to the mag shot. So I think I'm actually going to swap over to this. Just for no other reason than it's actually cool. And it's 1911. And I think we're going to head up here. Okay, and the new thing with the scanner, you can loot crates and that sort of stuff through the scanner, which is a nice quality of life improvement. Another digipick there. Some more crafting supplies. Okay, and here's our way inside that we're going to find. But I do want to find that... So here another crafting supply, more there. More crafting supplies there in the crate. Here are a couple of power cells. So we have 2 here. We can use 1 here. Okay, and that's going to, you can see, power up the elevator here. We're going to go back down to the bottom. Put the other one here. Now we should be able to open this door, and in here we're going to have 2 crates with some crafting supplies. Now these are normally leveled crates, so an Explorer spacesuit is just the calibrated version, however. So if it was advanced or superior, the Explorer suit is one of the top tier suits, but at calibrated level, it doesn't compare to what we have. And a bunch of crafting supplies in here as well, again, that we don't really need. So got unlucky with the loot there, but now we'll head back up. Oh, and there were a couple of power cells right here next to it that I just turned around and didn't see. Good job, Jorval. But I knew there were 2 up there, so little exploration never hurt anybody. Whoops. There we go. Okay, so now here we need to find information about NASA, and we're going to be directed to that computer over there. Again, looking around here, various things that you could pick up. I don't believe that there's anything much of interest in here, but we'll just take a quick look around. And you'll end up at the computer terminal here. Okay, so the station logs.
Station log. Dr. Judith Tatien. The recent delivery from Mars is unsettling. I was expecting rock samples or maybe fossils of microbial life. Instead, Dr. Victor Isa comes with 2 members of the military. Everything they've brought back is under wraps. What could a theoretical physicist need with a sample from Mars? Station log. Dr. Judith Tatien. I've been trying to cozy up to Dr. Isa, Victor, to see what is going on. His team has completely commandeered one of the labs with those 2 military handlers, checking who comes in and out. I joked that maybe he found a little gray man and was doing an autopsy, and he grew very pale. 2 days later, he sends me a request asking for more information on my background in materials science, metallurgical engineering. Oh, we have a meeting tomorrow. I think I'm being invited into the lab. Station log. Dr. Judith Tatien. I have never been so nervous since I defended my dissertation. 4 hours talking to Victor and his team about theoretical metals, atomic bonding, even a half-hour divergence into magnetism that I'm pretty sure was just to throw me off the trail of what we were actually talking about. Then, I got to see the lab. I don't know how much I should say, but the periodic table just got thrown out the window.
Okay, sounds to me like they might have found an artifact here. And just some more launch procedures, making sure that safety is what keeps you alive. You can head through the next door here. Okay, I don't believe there's anything over here. Oh yeah, there's some plushies and some other stuff down here, hidden in the corner. Would have been cool. Little NASA spaceship there, the globe up there. What looks like a pack there on that side. And you know, that's interesting. I've never tried to see if I could get in there. So there's a Berserker Advanced XM2311 in here. So the XM2311 is the modified version of the 1911 of the antique Old Earth pistol. So has the same fire rate, the same mag, same ammo usage, just has a flat higher damage output. And this is the advanced version of the XM2311 is one of the best pistols that you can get, especially after you mod it. So always keep your eye out for a legendary version of that. Okay, so now we're here inside NASA. There's all sorts of stuff around here that you can take a look at. An old engine. One of the, based on the Saturn V design. You can learn more about these. Yep. So, for the Saturn V rocket, this was the liquid-fueled rocket engine that took all of the Apollo missions up. And you're going to be able to learn a lot more about all of this cool stuff. This... I do not know what this is. Ah, okay, so we haven't had it yet. So this was one of the first ships to be used for the Grav drive. And there was another one of these sitting out on the pad outside that we saw. Close for remodeling. I would say it needs a little bit of remodeling here. Med pack, we'll always take those. And we are going to head downstairs and take a look at all the stuff down here on the ground floor real quick. It is just also a really interesting kind of history lesson on spaceflight as well. Okay, calibrated version of Deep Recon. Deep Recon isn't all that good anyway. So we'll start over here. This is one of the moon buggies that the US used to travel around on the surface of the moon. Oh, yep, from the Apollo mission. So one of the first electric vehicles ran completely off of batteries that they could recharge with solar panels while they were on the surface. So one of the first Apollo spacesuits made out of this reflective material, and as well as one of the first seats in the Apollo capsule, it looks like. So here's the Mercury spacesuit. The Mercury missions were for orbiting the Earth. So this was on the first space flight that people went on when they went up and just orbited the Earth and then came back down. Apollo was when you then went to the moon and back. So had to be airtight, of course, to guard against depressurization and that sort of stuff. But this material also helped. It's a reflective mylar type material, so it helped keep heat both in and out during that, in case of decompression or something like that. So that's kind of why the material looks shiny like that. So here's the original Mercury capsule, it looks like. Yep. So the original Mercury missions were for a single person to go up and orbit the Earth and then just land afterward, and that was it. So 6 flights in total were launched, and the last one spent just over a day and a half in, or just under a day and a half in orbit around the Earth to see how humans were going to react to the zero grav environment in space. So here, this looks like the Apollo capsule, I think. Yes. So with the Apollo capsule, you took off in a huge Saturn V rocket. When you got up into orbit, everything from the rocket fell back to Earth and was lost. And then the LEM, the Lunar Explorer module, and the crew module continued on, basically as one set. Then when you got to the moon, the Lunar Explorer module landed on the moon, and the crew module stayed up in orbit. And then what you did was you took back off, you docked with that back in orbit to make the flight back to the Earth, and then at the end, this crew capsule detached from the crew module, and this is what re-entered the atmosphere. You can see the heat shield down here. So an amazing marvel of human ingenuity, really. So a door in here with a mannequin, and this is where you can pick up the Mercury spacesuit and equipment. A really cool set of equipment to have. It's not anywhere near what my current spacesuit is, but it is something cool to have sitting on a mannequin somewhere on display. And then here, if I had to guess, this is one of the first interplanetary spaceships. This looks like storage tanks for solid fuel for the reaction engine back here. This looks like the crew module here. So here is where we learn about Project Prism and their first successful faster-than-light travel ship. And the Voltaire supercomputer made those calculations possible. And their first one, as we learned, was going to Jupiter. So these look like more advanced versions. Yeah, more about Project Prism. And a HAB, an airlock, and a HAB module. So yeah, in the late 1990s with the ISS, to then almost 100 years later, people were living on different planets. And it's kind of a good parallel to, you know, where the current human technology is trying to take us to colony efforts on Mars and that sort of stuff. As well as possibly Europa orbiting one of the moons orbiting around Jupiter. So we'll head in here, and here's Judith's personal recording.
I just don't understand where these calculations came from.
There's something wrong with the math? I think it's quite straightforward.
That's not what I'm asking. We've had no success extracting even a sample of material from the object. No explanation for the gravitational effects. No motion graph to explain its harmonic frequencies. I can't even establish a melting point.
Judith.
But you've had me building these prototype colliders for months. And now you want me to pump helium-3 into it based on this equation you've written on a goddamn napkin?
I just need you to trust me.
I have been trusting you. We keep slamming our heads against a brick wall, getting nothing. And you keep coming up with something new to try. Like, you know what's going to happen. Where are you getting your information, Victor?
I'm sorry, Judith. Look, not here, okay? Somewhere off base. I'll tell you everything. But I'm not lying, okay? We're going to discover something important here. I promise.
Okay, so something's a little bit fishy about how the discovery of faster-than-light travel came from. And Judith is now learning about that. And Victor's obviously covering up some of that. Yeah, I wouldn't want to head to Jupiter without some good breaks. Yeah. I think their actual faster-than-light travel that they mentioned was folding space. Yeah, to pull gravity itself. So in one way or another, you're using gravitational anomalies to, you know, force your way through larger distances. But yeah, one way or another, making sure you've got the technology to slow down once you've got there. So now that updated our quest marker to find information about the prototype Grav drive. Okay, so we're into the lab itself. It looks like. Okay, so now in here you're going to find again, some random stuff. There's going to be some crafting supplies scattered around this area. You're also going to see a few other areas that you can jump to, which takes you into different areas of this facility. So here you can see we're going to be getting into a door with secure access again. And that's where we're going to get up here. That's where we just were there. Okay, and here we are back into this room that we were just looking at. Okay, there's some crafting supplies here. Now, there's a power switch on the wall there. It says power is required. Okay, so we're going to close the power switch. That's going to power this switch up. Okay, so some component crafting materials. Okay, we've got a novice lock here. We do have a little time, so we can... It's only a novice lock as well. So we need 5, so it's going to have to be 3 and 2. So that. And that. And if you look down at the bottom, if we want to undo that by pressing R, oh, it actually did cost us a digipick to undo that. I thought they said in the crafting notes that it didn't do that anymore. Okay, so it's not that one, it's definitely this one. And this one. That got our digipick back that we intentionally lost. And some more crafting supplies in here. Okay, so up here we have an advanced lock. And if you look around in here, more crates. Advanced locks are easy as well. Just more choices. So the interior ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 4 and 3 on the inside. That one, and then we would need something like this. Yes. And then 4 on the outside. So it's going to be 2 and 2. So that could be this. And that. Okay, and again, crafting materials. There's a power cell that you want to pick up. And you don't have to use that one. You could have brought in an extra one from outside. Because there are extras around here. So in advanced deep recon is again not one of the higher tiers. Even though it is advanced, it's still not superior. But deep recon is again not one of the higher tiers of spacesuits. Okay, and there are power cells all over the place, so if you didn't want to pick your way in there, you're going to find power cells all over here. So don't worry about making your way in there just to get those. I don't think there's anything special about the NASA notebook or the NASA pamphlet, but nope. Okay, you got a door here that needs power. Oh, looky there. Oh boy, been a while since I have seen one of those, chat. The original Macintosh computer. This one's the dual disk drive version, an even rarer model. I haven't seen one of those since I was a kid. There's a NASA snow globe there. Another digipick we can pick up. Yes, I'm very old. And then here's your power receptacle for the power cell. Various crafting supplies there on the shelf, and now we should be able to open the door. Okay, more crafting supplies. Another advanced XM2311. This is the bashing variety. So, if you do want to pistol whip somebody, Pete, this is the one that you would do it with. You're going to deal double damage when you are bashing with this weapon. More crafting supplies littered all around here. Okay, so here you find your first automated defenses. Kind of wish I'd taken that disassembler weapon a little bit ago. Okay. More crafting supplies, control rods. It looks like a few control rods down here, which are always more of the harder to find crafting supplies. And very needed if you're doing outposts with reactors on them. Remember, you can search the turrets for ammo and crafting supplies. So don't forget to do that. One, two, three, four, five, 6 on the interior, so could be 4 and 2. Don't think it's going to be that one. Actually, can't be that one. Could be this one. Means we need something like this. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So again, 4 and 2. And it could be one like this. Like that. And then you would need another one. Yes, like that. Replace the digipick. This computer here is going to let us turn off the turrets. We obviously don't need to do that. Got a power switch here. And this is the back way in there. So you don't have to pick your way in. However, picking your way in lets you avoid the turrets. Otherwise, you'd have to walk your way all the way through here, through all the turret fire to get back there. And that activates this grate. The power switch did. Anti-personnel advanced XM2311. Now that's actually getting pretty nice. So the anti-personnel is offering 10% damage against humans. Anti-personnel is one of my favorite mods to have on a weapon. Just because so much of what you're fighting around is pirates and that sort of stuff. Okay, so just taking a quick look around. We know we have to go to the computer terminal there. Okay, so we're obviously in a secured area now. And
Project Log, Dr. Victor Isa. We turned on the prototype today. The gravitational field around it began to fold as we long suspected. Complete reversal of gravitational pull was observed on dozens of loose objects around the lab. I'm setting up a meeting with the directors to propose a larger test. The prototype proves we don't need the original anymore, but further work is going to have to take place in space. Somewhere with abundant helium-3 and with a civilian partner. Someone with access to large-scale manufacturing resources and computational equipment. Engineering gravitational folds pulling the far side of the solar system closer to us? It's all going to be possible.
so here you learn about the functioning of the Grav drive. They're basically using gravitational lensing to pull faraway places to you, jumping your ship to that other side and then releasing it, letting it snap back to its original location.
Project Log, Dr. Judith Tatien. I watched the Gravjet tests from the moon today. It was the first time we were able to talk to the team at Nova Galactic directly. So many things were under wraps before, but now everyone wants all the publicity they can get. I'm already seeing proposals for manufacturing hundreds of drives. Expeditions to Alpha Centauri and beyond. It's also overwhelming and worrying. It could take years, decades, before we know what all the side effects of operating a Grav drive can be. But no one wants to hear that right now. Like a bunch of pioneers racing towards the edges of the frontier without knowing about the grizzly bears in the mountains.
And that's very true. That's a very, very human trait. If we found access to an FTL drive that would let us have access to far reaches of the solar system, let alone interstellar flight, Believe that we would be running fully ahead with tests on that, and probably ignoring a bunch of the side effects and downsides that we might have uncovered with full testing, just because it's such an amazing breakthrough to have. So now this is going to lead us to find information about the side effects. This is expert level, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so 4 and 3. So not either of those. Could be this one. Yes. And that would leave 1, 2, 3. It would be this one. Yep. Now the inner circle here, 1, 2, 3, 4, right next to each other. So that's going to be 2 and 2. The outside and the inside. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. So could be 3 and 1, maybe. Or could be 2, 1 and 1. Undo. That one I messed up. Yes. Okay, so this one could go here, and this one could go here. Then there. There. There, there. Okay, so a large crate here with crafting supplies. A safe. Some more crafting supplies. Ooh, big numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the interior. So that's going to be 3 and 2 since there's no 1s. Oh, if it's that one, I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be... That's the same one. There's no 1, so it's going to have to be 3 and 2, but both of these are the same. If I do this... Oh, yeah. It's this one. Just was overlooking it. Then on the outside, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So definitely going to be 4 and 3. So can't be that one. It's got to be this one. And it's going to have to go there. 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 And there. So some ammo. The advanced older shotgun. Again, pretty good as far as shotguns go. It has a 6-round mag. Uses 12 gauge shells. But it's got a 364 base damage at the advanced level. So again, pretty good. Not something that we're going to use, though. We don't normally carry shotguns. And we're going to... cut the pins here. And we have access to this area here. Now, you instantly see that we went into to 0 grav. Okay. So once we're back out here, we're normal grav again. But once we enter the stairwell, or once we drop down into here, you can see we're again 0 grav. So this is what they were talking about with the gravity lensing effect that you have seen, or that they witnessed. Hey Dave, welcome. I did, yeah, I could have done without getting sick. but yeah, it's always good to see family. It just is. So, was very happy to be able to spend time with my sister, parents, mom and dad, and my twin nieces. Always a good time with them. Get to be uncle for a while, so always good. Now you can see below us what looks like maybe a prototype of the Grav drive here. We're gonna make our way back through here first. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. So could be 3 and 3. It's not going to be, though. So it's going to be 4 and 2. So that's there, and then the outside is 5. So could be 3 and 2. And it is going to be... And now back in the lab area here. Yeah, and this is the elevator shaft that we saw a little bit ago. And another shaft that takes us back up here where we were. So, yeah, these are the rooms where we entered. There's the elevator shaft. This shaft here, so a few other ways to get up and down through here. Okay, so we'll kind of take this a level at a time. Do some exploring while we're here. So another deep recon, again refined level, not anything we're interested in. Switch there to open doors to the control room. This one's locked if I remember right, yes. An expert lock. An advanced lock, this just brings you back in from the stairwell. And again, you can open that and loot through it. So this is the main control room for the area. There's a research terminal down here, a research lab for you to use. Okay, so we're going to head back up here to this lab. And now I have to remember how to get through there. Oh, actually, I need to go through here. I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 4 and 2 it's going to be. Okay, so it's definitely not that one. So this one's going to be... Okay, so this one fits out here, but that would leave 3 left, and we don't have any 3s. So it's definitely the interior one. Right there. And then this one would do the opposites. And then this one's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So again, 4 and 2. It's going to have to be that one, that one, that one, and that one. Okay, and here we have a body down at the bottom here, and there's a NASA maintenance key that you need to pick up. Okay, and now we're into this wraparound control area. With various doors around with lock stuff. Advanced locks aren't too bad. So on the interior, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So going to be 4 and 3. So there. And there. And then the outside is 4. So probably 2 and 2. There. 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 And there. Again, inside here, various crates to search. So refined and calibrated. Nothing that we need. Another safe. So again, a whole bunch of looting stuff that you can feel free to loot. Some isotropic coolant hitting us in the face. Okay, so here is Victor Isa. There's another NASA maintenance key here. There's a release switch, a release artifact, and here's the research computer. Okay, so they're telling you that basically, like you do with a CT machine, make sure you've secured all your loose objects, removed any jewelry, all that sort of stuff. The core of the drive contains a specimen that is irreplaceable, and all data is under the strictest clearance. Okay, so that specimen that is irreplaceable is what's interesting there.
I never actually got to visit your labs back when we were working on the Grav drive projects.
Seems like ancient history now. Only thing we're doing these days is launching weather satellites.
Guess this is as good a retirement as any. Now, Project Emitter, you want our help manufacturing scanners to better track these new meteorological patterns we're seeing.
Our guess is that the poles might be naturally shifting, causing some gravitational fluctuations that are throwing off our old models.
Why do you need the scanning tolerances to be so small? What are you trying to find?
I just want to be sure. It's not like we're doing much these days anyway. The glory days are over. Why not give ourselves a challenge before they write us off in the history books?
Okay, so the gravity waves that are happening here are pretty intense. And they're affecting a bunch of things, just like the gravity waves that emanate from the sun do.
Coming back from the satellites is very clear. It's the Grav drives.
All those jumps from the moon. At this rate, Earth's atmosphere is going to start sputtering out into space.
Can the drives be fixed?
I'm working on some designs that should discreetly solve the problem, under the guise of an emergency update to the fueling pumps.
We're talking about the end of Earth, and you're trying to be subtle about it.
Judith, the last thing we need is people losing faith in Grav drive technology. That might be our only option.
To what? Are you seriously saying we should abandon Earth?
The timeline is under 50 years. A blink of an eye for a planet, but more than enough time for a human exodus.
And what do we tell people?
We say it's an act of God, one that science has found a solution for. Time for humanity to take its place in the stars.
You knew, didn't you? You lied to me. All this time, I dedicated my life to this discovery, Victor. And you knew we were going to kill off our planet?
You haven't seen the future I've seen. There's an infinite expanse of promise out there. A meteor could hit Earth, a plague, another world war. Colonizing other galaxies secures humanity's future for all coming generations, across all time.
At the expense of our home.
Stop it, both of you. All that matters is building enough ships to get everyone off this planet. And we need to start now.
I'll draft up a statement. We'll need to address the entire international community. I'm sorry, Judith.
There isn't a planet in this universe that will be far enough away from you, Victor. We are never speaking again after this is over.
Okay, so some fairly serious side effects from the Grav drive are that it was going to be stripping away the atmosphere of the Earth by basically putting magnetic holes in subspace all around the planet. And that is what led to Earth being turned into a wasteland here, is that basically the atmosphere disappeared. So yeah, fairly serious side effect.
My name is Dr. Victor Isa. And if you're listening to this, then you probably already know the truth. I was young when I first headed the retrieval team of an odd gravitational anomaly on Mars. But I kept what really happened that day hidden from everyone except one other person. Even she didn't believe me at first. But I have no reason to lie to anyone now, so I hope you'll accept this confession, whoever you are. When I touched the anomaly, I experienced 12 days of lost time. I met myself. He told me everything that has since come true. The Grav drive equations, the tests on the moon, Earth's atmosphere sputtering away because of what we had done. But he also told me about a city thriving on a planet orbiting a distant star. Human culture, art, music, lifestyles evolving and shining brightly across all of space. What price would I be willing to pay for that future? Maybe you don't believe me. Maybe Judith was right and I'm just a coward who wants to believe his mistakes were justified. But everyone has forgotten about the real origins of the Grav drive, this artifact from Mars. I hope you make better use of it than I did.
Okay, and now we learn the full story. It's what we expected. Dr. Asa found one of the artifacts, and when he touched it, he was met by a Starborn who was himself and from another universe, and He basically said that the way to get humanity to expand to the stars is to make Earth uninhabitable. And that's probably actually very true. Humans tend to react to tragedy in very specific ways that make them bind together, and they can do things collectively you never would have thought possible. And the ending of the Earth in 50 years tends to put a pretty serious prod to people to get things done. And that's exactly what happened here. High price to pay, but it prompted humanity to expand across the galaxy. And now here we can release the artifact here. Okay, now we have gravity back. I want to make sure... yeah, a lot of things could lead to the destruction of this planet. So now we're going to head out here, and we're going to make our way down where we were. And like I say, as you can see from my weapon selection, you might want to make sure that you're prepared. And that you also kind of realize where your exit points are. So our exit point is here. And this is where we came in. Out here, we're fairly exposed, so just remember that. But they were powering Grav, this prototype Grav drive with an artifact, Artifact Psi.
Constellation, we've arrived on the surface of Earth. We need to discuss what you found.
And it looks like other Starborn got here before us. So, you might have company.
Okay, so the Hunter and the Emissary are here. Now you can see that Starborn have appeared in the facility. And we're going to have to fight them on the way out. We do have one down here, and you can avoid all of them. You can choose not to fight and just run away. Okay, so he's hidden behind an object there. Okay, so that finishes him off. Do we have any more down below us? We don't. Sorry about that. Forgot to mute my mic. Well, let's start making our way back out. Looks like the next set's gonna be over there as we head up out of the stairwell. One must have died by clipping into a wall or something. Wow, he's soaking up a lot of damage.
I congratulate.
Not entirely sure how that worked. Okay, and one up there at the top of the ramp. Okay, so he's outside of a door. No, he's just behind that platform. You can kind of see his weapon markers there. Okay, so he's been alerted. He's coming down. We'll let him come to us. If he's going to come down this far. Looks like he is. Made a mistake walking into that. Okay, and I think that's it. But we'll stay hidden just in case they spawn. Okay, so a repulsing advanced explorer spacesuit. So it's not superior, otherwise it would be really good. Combat veteran is great. Lead lined, meh. Repulsing, meh. But the superior version of this would actually be really, really good. Compared to what we have, you can see it's not there yet. It's not on the superior levels that I have with advanced. But upping it one more to superior would put these numbers really on par with what we have here. And it would have better all-around resistances than what I've got right now. It's also significantly less weight. You can see the mass that we're carrying. But yeah, would be a nice one to have. Oh. Need to follow the power cables. Here's the power cell. Just go back up here and look and make sure there wasn't anything else important that I missed. I don't think there is, but... Nope, doesn't look like it. This is back where we were. Okay, so we do have some more Starborn that have popped up. And you can see his weapon markers over there. One up top with a sniper, it looks like. Okay, you can't see from here. Okay, so it looks like he might be in the other room up there, so... Don't think I can... Oh, that window's open. I think that's it. I think it was just those two. This looks like it. Here's our end of mission crate over here. So, Space Adept, Advanced Older Shotgun. I never did like Space Adept. But it is, like I say, that original older shotgun. It does have pretty high base damage. Okay, so don't see any more. Okay, and here's the elevator. Take us back up. Okay, so looks like the Emissary and the Hunter are both down here, waiting to talk to us. And before I do this, not for any other purposes, but just because we're here at a crucial decision point.
Do you understand now why I asked you to come here? The artifacts unlocked the secret of interstellar travel, at the cost of Earth.
An easy trade, honestly. Why have one world when you can have all the settled systems?
Every Grav drive in the settled systems was built on technology that came from an artifact that was discovered on Mars. But these early drives shook the gravity field surrounding Earth. Eventually, the atmosphere started to slowly sputter away into space. That's why Earth is uninhabitable. The artifact gave the scientists a greater understanding of time and space, but not the wisdom to see where that would lead.
The settled systems wouldn't exist without the artifacts, in other words. We owe what happened here in NASA a great debt. Assuming we weren't going to lose it anyway. War, disease, famine, all the classics.
Don't you see? The power of the artifact forced humanity to the stars. They didn't get to make a choice. How many would have chosen Earth? What gave Victor Isa the right to choose for them?
You see the hypocrisy in what the Emissary is saying, right? They don't want to rob people of their free will, but then they steal the artifacts for themselves.
In the wrong hands, the power of the artifacts can make anyone a tyrant. That's why we watch over them. The only thing you're watching out for is yourself.
Okay, and this choice here is going to have a major impact on what happens later on in the game. So if you choose to side with the Emissary, then you're going to be going up against, you will team up with the Emissary against the Hunter. If you side with the Hunter, you're going to team up with the Hunter against the Emissary. If you say that they're both wrong, then you're going to end up having to fight them both. And that's actually the way we're going to go with this one. I haven't actually played this decision out in my personal playthrough, so I'm anxious to see how it goes.
Don't be a fool. The Emissary and I may have our differences, but you do not want to give us a common enemy.
For once, he's right. Don't do this. We can collect the final pieces together.
Well, look at that. The Emissary just became my new best friend.
You've made your choice. When you're ready, the Hunter and I will be at the buried temple. That's where we'll settle things.
Meaning, we'll kill you. But hey, at least we'll wait. The final round doesn't start until there's only one artifact left to gather. And if I'm not mistaken, Constellation has 1 or 2 to go.
Okay, so you're going to get a huge chunk of XP from that, and a large number of credits. They're going to take off in the Scorpius, and it appears that we have made an enemy of them both. Which, knowing how the game ends, I'm kind of anxious to see how that goes. So now we need to complete final glimpses to complete the Unearthed Quest. And that's why I wanted to do Unearthed first. These two are linked together that way. So let's go to final glimpses and return to the lodge. Oh, and remember the landmarks that are available. You can get those by, we talked about them briefly, by reading books, and it will unlock various landmarks here where you can pick up the snow globes to use as decorations and that sort of stuff. So we didn't go into that fully in depth. We found one just to let you know kind of how it works, but there are obviously a lot more. I think there's 10. So, carrying too much and can't fast travel, huh? Okay. No worries. It's because we did pick up the Mercury spacesuit and everything like that. So, Earth still has 1 gravity. Using Earth as the reference for that, so our boost pack isn't going to be able to allow us to fly like it does on the moon. But we still can use it to move faster. And when we get on our ship, we'll drop off some of this stuff in our ship inventory and... You know, while we're here, we're going to bring up that... That was creepy. Hello, everybody? Okay, you're weirding me out.
And none of that Grav tech cheating?
Since we have to go to our inventory anyway, let's see if we can clear out the activity to check our inventory. So here we're going to... Oh, we do have some other ones. We have the demo set that we're carrying as well. And why do we have 3 advanced space trekker spacesuits? Okay. So we had a legendary deep seeker pack stored in here. I think these were just to sell, if I'm right. Some of these were obviously keeping. Yeah, the Genghis set, the Ranger set, the Striker set, the SysDef formal uniform, the Ambassador suit, things to put on your mannequins and that sort of stuff. There are a lot of resources that we stored in here as well. Okay, and yeah, that thing is bugged, I think. Here we go with this again. There it is. Yeah, I've seen that a few times. Not entirely sure why that activity stays there. After a while, I've seen it bugged quite a bit. Okay, so now we're going to... We should be fine on our carry weight. Now we're going to head back to the lodge. And this is going to want us to talk to Vladimir.
Mateo told us about your pilgrim's voyage.
You found it, didn't you? The meaning of unity. Wait, say that again? Multiple universes?
You can't possibly mean what I think you mean.
Yes, I wouldn't mind a little more detail. I don't even want to think about the physiological changes you'd need to travel between universes. Plus what it would do to the mind? Enlightenment? Or oblivion? Like the Hunter.
You have the opportunity to reach the closest thing to your god that might exist. And you're second-guessing it?
One doesn't approach the afterlife without some trepidation. You're right. We have to see the unity for ourselves.
Not to make a sharp turn in a grand tale, but I got the eye fixed up. Bruised, but still blinking. Let me know when you're ready to follow up on what it's seen. These last glimpses from the eye are from the farthest fringes of known space. Could be the only remaining pieces outside the hands of the Starborn. Catch a smile out there.
Okay, and now for this, the 2 planets that you're going to be sent to.
More and more time.
Are Gunibu 5D, which isn't a problem. And then Freya. Now, Freya's the problem because you can see that line between Sagan and Freya is really long. That's 21 light years. So you need a ship that has a grav drive capable of jumping at least 21 light years. And the original Frontier that you get does not. So you can either go on a couple of side quests and pick up a ship, you can hijack a ship, or you can just modify the Frontier once you have access to higher levels of the grav drives to be able to make that jump. We obviously have a ship that's capable of doing that right now, so it's not a problem, but if you go through your playthrough, you might have to do some ship upgrading at this point to be able to make it out to Freya. So we're going to go to Gunibu here first.
You might want this. If you find any addition, any at all, I will be your friend like forever.
And we're going to go to the deserted robotics lab to find the artifact. Now, we've been to deserted robotics lab before. These are in random POIs, but they will be on these planets. Yeah, I'm half surprised a ship didn't land on top of us. Okay, now remember, detect life works on life. Robots are not. And you can see that we are getting turrets that are out here. We're also going to have robots that are going to spawn. We're going to head up here first, because I believe... And again, been a while since I've done this POI. But yeah, see, various robots of different types and levels. I love that ragdoll when they just go limp like that, lifeless, and slowly fall over. Doesn't have a Kraken either. I'm going to keep my eye out for another one of those. Maybe on the off chance that I can ever finish that quest. Okay, so it wasn't in here. We do have some exotic crafting supplies in here, though. We do have some pirates down here. I'm looking for the terminal. And honestly, I can never remember where it is. Okay, so do have quite a few pirates down here to deal with, also some turrets and some robots. Can't remember if it's over there. Or not. I'm just doing a quick look here and then I'm going to head over to the far side. I don't think it's down here. I think it might be in that building over there. And if you just jump one time, you do not come out of stealth. If you jump twice, you activate your boost pack, and that will drop you out of stealth. Luckily, we have a low G planet here, so we're able to move around fairly easily. Don't think it's down there. Let's see if we can get into either one of these buildings except in another way other than that front airlock over there. I'm just playing this extra stealthy. Like I say, you don't have to. Killing them would be extraordinarily easy for us at this point. Okay, so we're going to jump up on the top of this building over here. Doesn't look like we're going to be able to get inside of it except through the main airlock, so... We'll wait for him to turn his back and look over to his right. Which he should do when he reaches the end of this walkway. Should give us the opportunity to kill him. Easy. This one over here should be able to die. That's a great ragdoll. And again, I don't see the terminal over there. Don't see it down there either. So let's just go ahead and clear this out. Missed my shot. Let's go, buddy. Jump up here. Come on.
Things I'm gonna do when I find you.
Okay. Pop your head up. And I believe we just have that turret left now. Wow, turret took 2 hits. I'm anxious to know where the terminal was. We'll search the pirates, though. So antiseptic is pretty, or anti-ballistic is pretty good. Minus 15% incoming physical damage from ranged weapons. Antiseptic is meh. But either way, it's the base level. And it's Space Trucker, which isn't, again, the highest tier. So calibrated level, Pirate Charger is not all that great either. So nothing there that we need. Okay, so let's head inside. Okay, so we've been in the science facility before. Lots of pirates. Going to find a safe here on the inside. All these scientists are incredibly loaded with credits. I guess it pays to be a scientist. I'm an engineer, but I wish I got paid like that. Wow. Good shooting there, Tex. And the detect star stuff power is just really good. Okay, nobody carrying a Kraken, doesn't look like. Mining Monthly issue 10 is in here. Inside all of the science facility or the abandoned robotics facility POIs. So if you're looking for that, it's in here. Like I say, a lot of credits on these scientists. Two left. Come on. Come on. There you go.
There you are.
And that would be the pirate that if you're going through this and you're looking to farm weapons, this is the pirate that you would do it on. We talked about that previously. They're the ones that are going to have the highest tier weapons in the facility. So you would get them into a downed condition. There's a refined Kraken. Only 3 more of them to go. Here's your end of mission crate. So we got the base tier Trackers Alliance, which isn't very good compared to what we have. So haulers, again, refined version, not very good. And we're going to head down here into electrical. And this POI now, since it has the artifact in it, you're going to have this area that is opened up and allows you to progress down inside. You are always going to encounter a Starborn. Okay, and that gets us the artifact here on this one. So we will reload real quick. And now we will head out to Freya. And actually, before I do that, I did want to look Okay, so yeah, the Power from Beyond quest still has all the other artifacts that we can go find. Let's check our... So we do have some marksmanship to rank up. It will increase our crit chance by 15%. Sharpshooting we can up to 2. Critical damage. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's go ahead and throw some points into the armor skill, armor penetration skill, and let's head out to Freya. I haven't been here before. Okay, so the quest is updated now and has asked us to investigate the distress signal here at the Nishina research station.
Ready for touchdown.
Okay, so Final Glimpses wants you to complete Entangled. So Entangled automatically becomes selected, and we're now to investigate the distress signal. So we'll make our way over to the science station. And there are fauna out here, so if you want to up some of your skills by killing some of the animals, feel free to. I'm just going to avoid most of them if I can. And I'm going to try and make my way up out here by the landing pad. Sometimes this parkour can be a little tricky. Okay, so there's something up here that's friendly. We've been detected. Sorry, I needed to clear my throat there. We'll just take a quick look around. So yeah, there is a spacesuit over here that you can pick. There's also a spacesuit workbench, and there are some various other crafting materials and that sort of stuff around here that you can loot.
Nishina research station. You speaking. your business here? What? We haven't sent a distress signal? Nothing on the comms. No other ships in the system since our last supply drop. Luke, what are you trying to pull here? Really? The High Energy Research Lab? Alright. I don't know what's going on here, but you should talk with the director. Once inside, stay with me and don't make any sudden moves. I'll get the door. Welcome to Nishina.
Now this is actually a really cool quest, and I don't know as if we'll have time to get through all of it.
Step forward. Scan is clear. One moment. Attention all. I am declaring a cordial. All sections are now on lockdown. Senior staff, protocol Delta. It's out. There. Be right with you.
Ethan Hughes, Chief of Security. If you'll follow me, I'll show you to the director. We're a small research station in the middle of nowhere. Pirates eat places like these for lunch. It is my job to make sure that we are not on the menu. Kaya Patel, our administrator and research director. 28 years in quantum particle physics, or so I'm told. It's beyond me. We'll take the back way up. Here, you can see our lovely storage area. Don't touch anything. So, Nishina was...
Okay. Here's where things get weird, but things also get cool. If you were paying attention before that cut happened, we were walking next to this ramp here. We came in through a door back here. Okay, and that door is behind all this rubble. So this lab is the same lab. It's just the lab has been destroyed. So we've made a jump here into an alternate universe of sorts.
What the? Easy! Easy! What the hell was that?
Okay, and the Cataxi that we saw there are part of it.
1 minute, you're following me, and then you're just gone. Minute later, you pop in out of nowhere looking like you were in the middle of a fight. But there's nothing here. I should have never let you inside. What is this? Some kind of stealth tick? Who are you working for? Look, I don't know what's going on. Let's get you to the director. Maybe she can figure this out. Come on, this way.
Who's there? Oh, thank God. Finally, someone came. The distress signal. You picked up the distress signal, right? It's been so long. I'm out of food, out of water, but I made it. Wait, how did you get in here? Hughes? Ethan Hughes? But he's dead. No. No. This doesn't make any sense. Unless... the accident. Maybe this is a side effect of the accident. If the probe is still feeding power to the distortion, then... Right. Sorry. 3 months ago, I was calibrating an experiment in our high-energy research lab. There was an accident. An explosion. It caused a gas leak. Sparked a fire. I was trapped in the control room. There was nothing I could do. They're all dead. The lab was built around a xenolith with a dense metallic
Disappear! We should! Wait! She's back! Alright, we're on our way up. Hughes out. I was just filling in the director. Let's keep moving.
Okay, things are getting awful spooky.
Anything happens. The director's office is on the second floor, end of the hall. You can't miss it.
Okay, so I do want to look real quick because honestly, I haven't looked for this key. Before. Okay, now the Cataxi have a poison attack. So if you are going to fight them, it's probably good if you have something that can cure poison on you. As far as your aid goes. And you can see that they can also burrow underground. Okay, we can read about Dr. Barakova here. So, Hughes reported an emergency with the particle accelerator. Okay, he was bit by some sort of terrifying venomous life form. We've obviously seen that. There's been an explosion on the research level, full security lockdown. Caused the gas leak, and Hughes is trying to reset the system. And the entire facility could combust. And that's obviously what we're looking at here. The entire facility went up.
This way. Director?
Thank you, Ethan. Come in. Kaya Patel, Research Director. And this is our Chief Scientist, Maria Hughes. Ethan said you disappeared right in front of him. Twice now? 3 times?
Director, you can't be taking this seriously. Look, I don't know who you are or what you're doing here, but there has to be a rational explanation for all of this. Excuse me?
That is quite a claim. What makes you think that? Tell us about this other universe. Raphael. Raphael died in the accident. He...
Wait, burned out? The leak. Director, there was a hydrogen leak right after the accident. It was contained in a minute or two.
But if it hadn't been, it could well have caused an explosion.
Another universe, though. That's a lot to swallow. An artifact?
You mean the source of the distortion? You know something about it?
Really? That's all you're gonna say?
No. Fair enough. You have a prior connection with them, then. Maybe that's why this is only affecting you. This facility and the research level 2 kilometers beneath us were built to study a gravitational distortion. This artifact and the field it creates. 3 months ago, our chief engineer, Raphael, was calibrating an experimental probe when something went wrong.
We still don't know what happened. There was a series of explosions, and somehow it's still running. What do you think, we haven't tried? The kill switch on the control unit isn't responding. The explosion must have damaged the failsafe. We could shut it off manually, but the entire research level is locked down. We can't even get down there. How? I told you the research level's locked down. We can't even use the damn elevator. What?
Clever. In this other universe, Raphael survived. He made it back from the lab, so clearly his elevator works. Take it, and you might be able to shut down the experiment.
This is crazy.
But first, we have to do something about your shifting.
We can't shut down the probe, but we might be able to adjust some of the other parameters. It's risky. We don't know what we're dealing with, but... All right. It's worth a try.
Then it sounds like we have a plan.
Come with me. The
Okay,
control
so...
room is in the fabrication lab next door.
Here you have a director's incident report that you can read, and this lets you know exactly what happened down here. Raphael's missing, presumed dead. Hughes locked the entire place down, and there was a brief hydrogen gas detection, but they closed it down. So here in this universe, they stopped the gas leak. In Raphael's, they obviously didn't. You recognize this room. And again, the director's incident report. There is a safe back here that you can unlock. And right now, again, we still can't make our way. Okay, so evidently can't shoot through that. We're going to go around this way. Gonna have some ammo and crafting supplies over here. And we have our way down into the lower levels.
Oh, it's you. What happened? You disappeared, and the ceiling caved in, and I thought I'd finally lost it. What? How? Look, if you think things are bad up here, the research level is even worse. I barely made it out, and that was months ago. I don't understand any of this. If I hadn't seen you disappear with my own eyes, I wouldn't have believed it. Okay. You're my ticket out of here. We'll do this your way. We can get out through the pantry. Here's the key. I'll back you up, I guess.
Okay, and there is the key that's now going to allow us to open doors around here. Raphael is with us as a party member now. And again, looking around here, various ammo that you can pick up, an advanced Grendel at this point. Again, that's going to be leveled based upon your current level.
What the? Security breach! Go! Everybody out!
For it!
Out of my way!
Okay, that obviously set off some alarms. And this reminds me of another game that we had to do something like this on, and I'm trying to remember what it was. What game it was. Played it a long time ago, and it'll come to me where you had to basically phase in and out of different realities, so to speak, to progress through a level, and now, like I said, I just can't remember what it was. If I think about it hard enough, it'll come to me. Okay, a terminal here. Okay, so power surge in the high energy lab, explosion detected in it. There's been some kind of explosion in the lab. The whole place is locking down. And can't shut down the air interchange. One spark in this whole place goes up. Emergency class 10 and log ends. So the apex predators, Cataxi, are burrowing carnivores with near impenetrable shells and deadly venom. Okay, they resemble old Earth scorpions. So as Cataxi track the prey with vibrations, they're immune to flash-type grenades. However, a strong vibrational disruptive like an electric pulse field should be effective at keeping them at bay. And here is the survey data downloaded for Freya.
Look at this. It's going to take hours to clear this out. Assuming the rest of the building doesn't come down on top of us. How should I know? You're the one who keeps winking in and out of existence. I just want to get out of here. Go do whatever you're going to do. I'll see if I can clear a path to the door. I'm not sure. It might stop whatever's happening to you. It's a reasonable theory, I guess. They're a native species. We had an electric pulse field to keep them out. The fire took out the generators, damaged the foundation. They just keep coming. I was in the lab, working on the frequency calibration for the probe. I was walking out of the control room when it happened. I heard the tanks rupture. The alarm sound. I only had a second to react. I jumped back into the control room. The doors sealed. I was safe. From the gas, the fire, everything. But I was trapped. There was nothing I could do to stop it. If I had gone the other way, maybe I could have made it to the ventilation controls. Killed the system. Even if it killed me, I don't know. I don't want to think about it.
Okay, so now we need to make it to the lab, and before we do this, we want to make sure that we have our persuasion gear on. There's a reason for that. We're going to shift back here, and we're in the security room, and we're going to talk to Ethan.
What? Oh, it's you. You realize you just popped into my locked office. So much for security protocols. Sure. Down the hall. Take the stairs next to the atrium. Yeah, let me get the doors for you. And done. Is there anything else you need?
And here you have a persuasion option to ask him if he has anything to help you fight the Cataxi.
The Cataxi in the other universe. Uh-huh. Wow. I've got an experimental thing one of the engineers put together. But...
Okay, it's a 6-point persuasion.
Oh my god, you're serious, aren't you? I'm glad you understand the position I'm in here.
And now we do have a full auto persuade, but we also have a manipulation option here.
I think you may be right. All right. Yeah. It's never been field tested, but all yours.
And here you get the Experiment A7. Okay, the Experiment A7 is a rare shotgun. It has Exterminator, so it's 30% damage against aliens. which makes it nice. It's fully automatic, which lowers its damage per shot. It already comes fully modded, and the mods that are on it are not bad, except for fully automatic. I would prefer that it was semi-automatic instead. But it is going to be useful, so we'll go ahead and take it with us. And now, you remember the storage room where you came in? Now we're immediately going to switch back to our stealth gear. Actually, did we go the wrong way? Yeah. Now that all these doors are open. Oh no, we were going the right way. Yep. This is the way that we need to go. You can see it basically one-shots everything. Advanced Solstice. Getting a little close for comfort there. But we managed. And we got one more on the upper level over there, it looks like. And we're trying to get to the fabrication lab. Now all of these doors are open. So if you wanted to go exploring around here, this is your opportunity to do so. Find some crafting supplies, various safes, and that sort of stuff you can loot, because now all these doors are open.
Excuse me.
And I believe there's actually another skill magazine in here too. It's been a while since I've looked for it. But you can feel free to look around and find it through all of this. We're going to actually head over to the lab. Which is here.
What, did you get lost in the hallway? Alright, this is the probe control unit. Most of these controls aren't responding. I'm going to very carefully adjust the settings I can. There's no way to tell what's about to happen. Pay attention and be ready for anything. I'll begin by adjusting the energy feed of the electron beam array. We're at 93 teravolts. Calibrating to 95, 97, 100. Nothing. Let's try the other way. 91, 89. What the? Okay. It looks safe to approach. But what in the world? It's a micro-distortion. Flux pattern matches the distortion in the lab. The setting is just exposing it somehow. Step into the distortion, please. Look, whatever's going on here, it's not affecting me. You want to call this whole thing off? Fine. Otherwise, step into the field. Nothing. No, hold on. There's a slight pattern change. Some kind of resonance. All right, stay there. Let me turn the feedback up for a moment.
May want to turn your volume down.
90, 91.
Okay, so now we're here. There's nothing else as far as the Cataxi go. We've got one more over there, which we're not worried about. Here we need to find the probe control unit, the mirror image of the one that she was just working on.
What happened? Are you all right? So, the lower setting causes the distortions to manifest, and the higher causes you to shift. That seems promising. Keep it on the lower setting until you want to shift, and you should be able to avoid any more accidents. I'd give you my control unit, but it looks like you already have one from the other universe. Love to take a look at that when this is all over. Right. If you can get down to the research level, you need to make your way to the high-energy research lab. Disengage the power interlocks, then pull the emergency shutdown to stop the probe. That should finally put an end to all this. Oh, and before you go, the director wanted to speak with you. It really is just down the hall.
Okay, so we need to speak to Dr. Patel.
Well then, all set? If you need supplies, I've asked Dr. Barakova to take care of you. It's the least I can do after everything we've put you through. Before you go, there is one other thing we should discuss. If this experiment is the cause of your shifting, when you shut it down, the shifting will stop. What happens then? To you and to us. Yes, and what of us? Nishina is a closed system. 2 potential states held in tension. When you shut down the experiment, that tension will resolve. You are the outside observer in the system. Whichever reality you are in, at that moment, is what will become real. For you and your universe, at least. The question is, which will you choose? If this were a choice between my life and Raphael's, I would ask you to save him. But as the director of the station, I am responsible for the lives of my staff. 30 people. People with families, careers, futures ahead of them. In this universe, you don't have to decide now. But when the time comes, please, keep them in mind. Now, it's time you are going. With the network offline, we can't shut down the security system on the research level, so you can expect some resistance. Be careful. Ethan, unlock the elevator lobby, please.
Ma'am, research level is still locked down.
I'm aware of that.
Alright. Done.
Good luck, dear. It's been a fascinating day.
Okay, we have an optional objective here to get supplies, and we're going to go ahead and do that, and that's probably going to take us up to the point where we're going to stop the live stream. Going down into the basement and dealing with the consequences of the choice that she was asking you about, whether to save Raphael or save the research station, is part of the outcome of this, and there are consequences for all of them. There's also a third choice which you're going to be able to make later on, and we'll deal with that as we get into the basement. But first, let's go get supplies here. To do that, we need to head downstairs. And go to the clinic here. We can talk to Tatiana Barakova. Now remember, that name should sound familiar.
Tatiana Barakova, station's doctor. This is not a public medical facility, but the director has ordered me to assist you nonetheless. I can spare a few med packs. Beyond that, I am not your therapist, your psychologist, or your cosmetologist. If there's anything else you need, ask.
We found her journal earlier.
My journal? Have you been in my quarters? Who do you think you are? The director may have given you run of this station, but I... Wait. What is this? This entry... It's mine, but... I didn't write this. And the scorch marks... God. Yes, I do. I can spare a few more supplies. And I'll give you a break on anything else you need.
Okay, so here at this point you can get some more med supplies you can purchase from her. Okay, so one of the good things to have is snake oil. This is used to purge the body of toxins, and that has the yellow triangle treatment on it. Trauma packs are always good. Panacea is always good. Injectors also have that same yellow triangle, so they're good to have. And boosted injectors are just higher level versions of the same thing. Emergency kits and med packs, always good. And a med pack here on the wall.
Yes, what?
And here's the elevator. And the distortions are now our way to move back and forth between the different universes. So that's important because you'll be able to gain access to rooms and areas that you might not have had access to otherwise, because things have been blocked off in one universe or another. So this begins the mechanic to get you from one to the other. Okay. And here is where you kind of have to start a trial by error type of exploration of the area. The lab is a fairly big area, and there are going to be a lot of ways that are blocked off, and that's going to mainly entail you heading into distortions to unlock certain doors and things like that, which are then going to, since this is the future, unlock those doors here as well, and that sort of stuff. So it's like I say, it's a rather intriguing setup, and it takes a while to go through, and I think this is a really good spot to drop our save and get ready for next week. So we're 5 minutes short on this one, but I think y'all will forgive me for delaying this. Like I say, I want to keep all of this kind of contiguous here as we go through it. So, as always, I want to thank everyone who was here tonight. I really do enjoy all the interactions that I have with all of you, and again, without your support, none of this would be possible. This is Commander Jorval saying, until next time, fare thee well.